Can you imagine a head of state who invites an official delegation from another country only to refuse to meet members of that delegation once they land at the airport? In a shockingly rude action that defies the very essence of diplomatic protocol expected from a sitting head of state, Guyana's President Irfaan Ali refused to meet with a group of Black American lawmakers who arrived in the country in November 2023 to investigate allegations of racism, discrimination, and human rights violations against Afro-Guyanese citizens. The 14-member fact-finding mission included Georgia State Senator Michael Rett, North Carolina Representative Dr. Amber Barker, Georgia State Representative Deborah Basemore, Mississippi State Senator Hillman Fraser, Texas State Representative Retta Bowers, Kentucky State Senator Gerald Neal, Tennessee State Representative G.A. Hardaway, South Carolina House of Representatives Annie McDaniel, amongst others. The delegation's leader, D. Dawkins Hagler, a former Georgia State representative, addressed the media upon arrival in Guyana and said this: "Innumerable complaints of racism, discrimination, and human rights violations meted out towards Afro-Guyanese. These allegations," she noted, "have been substantiated by reports from international organizations like the United Nations, which have been closely monitoring Guyana's geopolitical landscape. Despite having cordial relations with President Ali and assurances during his previous visit to New York that his government was committed to equity and inclusivity, the delegation was prompted to visit Guyana due to the sheer volume of complaints from both local and diaspora Afro-Guyanese communities. 3 weeks before their fact-finding mission to Guyana, Dawkins Hagler had informed President Ali, who welcomed their impending visit, even as he denied the allegations, labeling them false. However, upon their arrival, the delegation was informed of the shocking U-turn from the president and his government. At a press conference later, Dawkins Hagler stated this: "We were very thankful to the people of Guyana for welcoming us to their country, as they were very hospitable. However, we are disappointed with the manner in which the president treated us all because of the misinformation and propaganda being peddled that we were aligned to the opposition, which is false." Unfortunately, the government issued a statement on Sunday, November 12th, vehemently denying all accusations of racial discrimination against Black citizens and refusing to participate in what they described as a quote-unquote one-sided engagement. In an emotionally charged press release, the government countered that, and I quote, "This one-sided engagement in Washington presented the platform for opposition politicians to spew concocted and fabricated narratives about the government of Guyana, including their usual diatribe about racial discrimination and extrajudicial killings, without any fact-checking mechanism and without the government being afforded a hearing or the facility of a response." However, President Ali's refusal to meet the Black American legislators only fueled the delegation's determination to compile a thorough report based on the testimonies of citizens across Guyana. Dawkins Hagler emphasized that, and I quote, "This report, when compiled, will be sent to various entities, including the United Nations, the White House, the State Department, Congress, the Congressional Black Caucus, and the National Black Caucus of State Legislators. The Afro-Guyanese community has long battled systemic racism and economic exclusion. Reports have highlighted the abuse of the Guyana police force to target African Guyanese citizens and the unlawful seizure of lands owned by Afro-Guyanese, allegedly redistributed to those close to power in the Indian-dominated government. These issues have left many Afro-Guyanese feeling marginalized and disenfranchised in their own country. During an earlier meeting with President Ali and other Guyanese officials in Brooklyn, New York, U.S. House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries underscored the importance of inclusivity and civic engagement by all Guyanese citizens, regardless of race or ethnicity. He also emphasized the need for the government and the opposition to work together to ensure all Guyanese benefit from the nation's economic growth. Representatives of the African Guyanese population have repeatedly voiced their concerns to the U.S. government about racism and corruption in Guyana. These grievances include systemic efforts to shut out Afro-Guyanese from economic development, an issue that the delegation aimed to address during their visit. While the government's refusal to meet them was a significant setback, the delegation's mission remained unwavering. Dawkins Hagler observed that, and I quote, "It would have been nice to hear the president's side of the story, so that the fact-finding would find it easier in evaluating the truth versus the mistruth. But he objected, and that is a major concern for us." The struggle for justice and equality for the Afro-Guyanese community continues, and the world watches as these long-suffering people fight for their rightful place in their own country. In these challenging times, people of goodwill everywhere must stand in solidarity with the Afro-Guyanese community. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to stay updated on this and other critical issues affecting Africa and her diaspora all over the world. Thank you.